I love the shirt stuff. Yeah. Oh,
it's going.
We good.
20 minutes later.
All right. Back to you, Adam. How do you know when your wife is mad at you, or I should say, frustrated?
With frustrated, everything's fine.
Okay, fine. I'm cool. I'm fine.
You good? Everything's fine. Okay. What's up? Bill McCleskey in the building with
My boy.
he said my boy.
Just be smooth. Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Can't stop to lie. Won't stop to lie. Ain't no cheat code. Just be smooth.
What's up? Bill McCleskey in the building, y'all, with TechDontSleep Podcast. It's another one, and we have some special guests. We have a couple this time, y'all. Okay, so we're all about love and atmosphere, but we are also about using technology to grow your business and to attract more customers and to work more efficiently. So the discussion that we're going to have today, I know is going to be valuable to you guys as entrepreneurs and small business owners. And so we have in the hot seats today, Adam and Elizabeth Bell, okay, of Sublime Computer Service. I was about to say Sublime IT, but I wasn't sure. All right, so Sublime Computer Service, and you guys are out of Hendersonville, Tennessee, right? Which is right outside of Nashville. And real quick, tell me what you guys focus on, how you got started with the company.
You want me to do that?
Yeah, sure.
So we focus on business. We only do businesses, so we don't do any residential. We started out focusing on medical clients, but now we work with medical, manufacturing, and technology, and then we have other businesses that we support as well. So we're their complete outsourced IT department.
Yeah.
So anything that, it's just like having somebody in-house, but with a lot more resources.
I love it. So companies can leverage you guys, and you can be their IT department, and it really, I think, saves them money. It helps them work more efficiently, and they can leverage the resources, like you said, that you guys have.
Yes, that's exactly right. I mean, when we do just a money comparison, a basic IT guy is going to cost you $50,000. I mean, that's with benefits and everything else, they're probably going to cost you more. And you got one guy or one gal, and where my entire team will support them 24/7. They can call in more than one problem at a time because you have more than one person. So that's where we fit in.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right, guys, we're going to dive into the specifics of how Sublime helps companies, and maybe a couple of success stories or case studies, and what you should be focusing on as business owners, especially if you're in healthcare or manufacturing or IT. But before we do that, we want to get to know our guests a little bit better. And the way we do that, you know how we do it. We like to play a little game here, okay? All right, so this game is called, it's not the newlywed game, because you guys have been married for how long?
We're not newlyweds. Yeah, how long have we been married?
24.
Why are you looking at me like that?
24, and 20 of them have been happily. No.
Hey.
They're all happy.
Yeah.
all been fruitful years. Okay. All right, so 24 years. That's a congratulations.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I've been married 5 years in November, so that's 24 seems like a long time.
It did used to seem like a long time to us, and then it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it just
we're here.
flew by. But you guys have what? 2 kids?
2 children.
2 children. Okay, cool. All right, so let's jump into this game. It's the couples quiz. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm asking a question to you, Adam.
Okay.
All right, and you just give me an answer. So it's a question about your wife, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna see how much you know about your wife of 24 years. All right. All right. Here we go. Real simple stuff though. All right. Number 1. What was the first meal your wife cooked for you?
Oh gosh. The first edible one.
Oh my gosh.
First meal.
It was definitely a hamburger helper meal.
Whoa. He said definitely.
That's all I knew how to do was brown meat. And so we had every flavor. And you just rotated them through.
Wow. Okay. that's good though. You got that right. Okay, so oh man, I know the answer to this. Okay, is Elizabeth more of an in-person networking professional or virtual networking professional?
Definitely in person.
Yeah, she's a people person.
I need to be face to face.
Yeah, no, me too. I get that. All right, Facebook or LinkedIn?
Oh, Facebook.
Yeah,
But not for work.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I see you pretty active
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. Okay, all right.
Totally different.
All right, I'm gonna switch this up a little bit because we gotta. Okay, I'm gonna ask you some questions
Okay.
about your 24-year-old married husband. All right, so what is his favorite movie?
Oh, well, there's a lot, but Joe Dirt is one that he watches a lot, and Titanic. Also, it's like two things.
I would have said.
I'm thinking of all the ones that you have on your desk.
Is that right?
I would have said The Big Lebowski.
Oh, I forget about that. I try to forget that movie. I don't like that movie.
The language is too bad.
The Big Lebowski. Okay.
Yeah.
But do you like
But
Titanic?
you do like Titanic.
I like
and Joe
Titanic.
Okay.
Yeah.
It pulls at the heart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Cry a little bit.
Which does your husband prefer, laptop or tablet?
Tablet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yep.
Yep.
All right. Does your husband use Google Docs or Word, Microsoft Word more?
Google Docs.
Why you say that?
I don't like Google Docs.
You don't?
I
Why
can
not?
never figure out.
I love Google Docs.
I do appreciate the function of it, and especially now that our team is bigger, it is nice to have, you can share and edit and that kind of thing.
Yep.
I just have some kind of brain fog about sharing when I've actually created something and sharing, and I'm constantly sending blank emails.
Oh my
so he's like, I didn't get anything. So I just like
you shared something, but nothing was
I
there.
shared
Okay.
nothing. Yes. So.
All right. Back to you, Adam. How do you know when your wife is mad at you? Or I should say frustrated.
With frustrated, everything's fine.
You good? Everything's fine. Okay. I got it.
Are you upset? I'm fine.
Oh, man. Okay. What is the one restaurant your wife loves to eat at all the time?
Well, we kind
We
of
just
mixed
hardly
it up.
ever eat out,
But
though.
maybe Chop House or what's the Italian Carrabba's? We like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to get into a rut of restaurants.
Yeah, that's
Which means what?
I actually
I'll
don't.
say, well, let's go to Carrabba's. We just went there.
Okay,
I said,
okay.
Well, that was last month. I know, but it was just...
Little diversity. Let's
Yeah.
switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Chick-fil-A, maybe. No,
No, I'm kind of over Chick-fil-A. Yeah. Mexican. I could eat Mexican pretty much any day of the week.
Ooh,
We
wow.
ate there last night.
Wow. Okay. So Elizabeth, I got a couple more. What was your husband's first job?
Like real grown-up
Yes.
job. Because he started working at 14. I didn't know him then. But when I met him, his job in college was as a brake press operator at Train up in Clarksville. He built air conditionings. But his first grown-up job out of school, he was a CAD operator at Reagan Smith, civil
Wow.
engineering firm here
You
in
sound so
Nashville.
proud of
I
him.
am very proud of him.
He was a CAD operator. Oh my goodness. All right. Last one. Let's see. Adam, what is the one thing your wife hates?
The one thing. People
There's so many.
He said people. People
who can't have a sentence spoken correctly with me or I.
Oh, I am grammar police.
What does that mean? Like with me or I? Like talking about themselves?
Yes, they do it. They say I all the time when they should use
The
me.
incorrect use of.
Oh.
My daddy was an English teacher for 40 years,
Okay,
and I
I got
got
you.
corrected and it just grates on my nerves.
On behalf of my wife and
My wife
Yeah, we
and me.
can't even do it wrong.
It's
Yeah,
my
do
wife
it
and me,
wrong.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that probably does that
You know, I kind of get that though, but for me, it's when I see incorrect grammar on paper, like on LinkedIn or something like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is
there.
Oh yeah,
there.
There
like
they are, and
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We look across the room at each other when somebody does it. Like,
No, I was real quick story. I was in a meeting, and this lady was doing she was training. She was doing the workshop, and she asked us a question, and we were giving her feedback, and then she said, "No, you got to be more Pacific."
More
Pacific.
I said, no, I don't know about the ocean now. I don't know. All right, but anyway.
Supposedly, that's correct.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was good. All right, so let's jump into this article, y'all. I found this article, and I think it's relative to your business. And the title, it says 3 reasons to outsource IT. Or to outsource a managed IT service provider. And the 3 reasons they give are they are experts at cloud, they give reliable support, and they can often customize a solution for you, okay? But I want to know, like, what you guys think about those 3 reasons, and what would be your main reason a company should outsource their IT? I know we kind of touched on it initially, but what do you guys think?
Who wrote that?
Oh, well,
I mean, like, was it an IT? Well, was it an IT person, or was it a?
It's probably curious. A blogger. I just got it from a blog. Yeah.
Well, so there are a couple things that we do better than So I've been an in-house IT person.
Okay.
And I do a better job outsourced than I ever did inside, because you get lazy. You get complacent, and you get satisfied, and you're also not getting influenced by other entrepreneurs, other IT companies. I'm in other groups where a lot of information is shared with us about how we can best protect our clients.
Yeah.
So now I have a whole slew of software and methods for protecting my clients from cybersecurity attacks, as well as providing them efficiencies that I wouldn't have available to me in-house, because one, the tools would cost too much. I buy in bulk.
Gotcha.
I've got over 1,000 endpoints under protection. So what might cost me $1 an endpoint would cost somebody else $7 or $8 an endpoint. Well, it doesn't make sense for them to buy that, so they don't buy it. So from that standpoint, the security that we provide, the expertise that we provide is better than what you can get in-house. Plus, we also do, when you're an employee, you don't really like to be held accountable. So, I mean, nobody really likes to be held accountable, but they know that it's good for them. It's like going for a physical. Sure. They don't like to do it, but they need to do it. Where we hold ourselves accountable, we do our technology business reviews. So we go in every 100 days and say, these are the things we said we were going to do. These are the things that you said you needed done. And then here we are. And then we keep repeating that. And there's no, as an employee, or you might feel bad that you didn't get something done, or, we just don't have that, because we do that for every single one of our clients. So from an outsource standpoint, they're getting better service by sending it to us than they would be doing it in-house.
I think so many of our clients too, like our sweet spot are those businesses with 15 to 20 computers up to several hundred. So they're not quite big enough to have a whole entire in-house department. They've got one guy, maybe 2, or maybe it's the front office person who's just really good fixing the printer, kind of a thing. And that person, so I think what we bring to the table is consistency is a big thing, because so many, like I said, our target audience, we're good, we've got a guy. You've got a guy, we've got a team.
You got a team,
And so the consistency, that guy needs to take a vacation. That guy might get sick,
He sleeps at night.
He sleeps at night.
What a concept.
He might quit,
so there may be turnover.
The turnover, and then depending on whether or not he's documented things, and that next person comes in, and what in the world. And so I think that's a huge thing that I try when I am out telling people about what we do. I think that consistency, that reliability is a comfort level to our clients. They don't have to worry about whether, if we have physicians, they're working and charting at 2 a.m. We have manufacturers who are up in the middle of, they're working 24/7. They have comfort knowing that if something was to go down at 2 a.m, we're there.
Yeah, I love that.
That is what I think that you get from outsourced IT that you don't get. I think it has such a negative connotation.
Does it really?
I feel, because everybody's like, oh, well, I don't want to talk to somebody in India. There's always I think there's just a thought of, oh, well, my outsourced IT, the help desk. Oh, your help desk is,
Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
Yeah, it's just, the IT crowd. I don't know. If y'all are a tech crowd, like the IT crowd is hilarious like that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? But I think there is a little bit of I'm hoping it's changing as, the managed service provider is not such a new thing anymore. But, when we first started in 2008, oh no, we don't want to outsource that.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to somebody in India. I can't even understand them. Well, no, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
And so I think there is a definite, once we've kind of gotten over that hurdle with people of realizing, I think the relationship that we bring too, because we have been blessed with such a great team. We don't have a lot of turnover within our organization. And so it really is great to be able to go and visit a client's office and they're like, oh, it's so good to see you. Or, it's just, I think that's another thing that you can get that with your in-house IT, but it is a little bit, I don't know, I feel like that's something that
you're part of the team, and then you're adding value to that business, and it's kind of different. It's a different relationship than somebody that's in-house, and you know what I mean?
We don't have to get involved in all the office drama.
Yeah, the politics. Yeah.
The politics, or I have to go fix, so-and-so's computer first, and why didn't you fix it? I've worked in corporations like that too, and it's like, they just never come to me. There's just always, you know what I mean?
I get it.
That's in every office, and I think we don't have to get involved in that, so we can come in and be like,
right, and just
do our job and get it done for them. And
but I think it's important for people to understand when we say outsource IT, companies are outsourcing. They don't have an IT department in-house, right? So they hire you guys to be their IT department, and you guys are not in India. So if you provide help desk support, where's your help desk support? Like, how does that work for
well,
companies?
And when you're saying, I think just the word outsourced, people think, then you're so disconnected.
Yeah.
And that's not true. I mean, we are local, but we are located in Hendersonville, but we have technicians in Franklin. We've got our guys live everywhere, and we service all of Middle Tennessee and actually the entire country, and actually international. Now we have a manufacturing company that they're headquartered in Sacramento. They've got a manufacturing plant here. Their sales force is in the Philippines. Wow. And we handle all of that.
Yeah, cool.
But are we to them, to us? Like,
they're like, we don't want no U.S. support.
They don't. But it hadn't been a problem though. We've gotten good. We've gotten good. That's the other thing too. I think we give the opportunity on every single ticket that goes to our clients. Once that ticket's closed. They get the opportunity to rate us on
the service
on our service, and even the Philippine clients have given us and it's just a red, yellow, green, gold, red, yellow, green, gold. I think is what it is.
It's a customer thermometer kind of standard across the board.
And
so the feedback from that has been good.
But we appreciate the feedback, and that's another thing that we pride ourselves on. That our customer service is excellent. I mean, we get almost all gold stars. I mean, won't say nobody's perfect.
The gold star.
Well, we get gold star. I mean, we have one of our techs, like that's his big. He's like, I got a gold star today. It's like being in kindergarten.
But for clarity's sake, your help desk or your technicians are all U.S. based.
Yes. Oh, yes. They're actually all here in Tennessee.
Okay. No, that's cool. So I want to know how y'all started the business. Like, at what point did you say, hey, let's start this business, and then working together? I want to get some feedback from you guys how it is working together.
Well, before he tells that whole story, I always have to say, once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur.
Yep.
It's a definite mindset. It's a gift. I don't share that gift, but once I
married that gift.
Well, I married that gift, and once I get it explained to me, I'm like, okay, let's go. Like, I don't have the idea, but I can go with him.
Yep.
But we started. I'll let you tell the story of kind of how you started this, but I always like to tell people, especially your audience, if it is an entrepreneurial type audience. I think we were joking. He has started businesses over businesses over businesses. Actually, when I was pregnant with our first daughter, he had the idea with some other guys of putting television screens in restaurant lobbies. Putting advertisements on
when was
there.
this?
This was in 2000.
Wow.
And we couldn't sell it because they kept telling us, we don't want our patrons watching televisions.
Wow.
And
That's
so
crazy.
We don't want TVs in the bathroom.
we don't want TVs in the bathroom. And of course, now you can't shake stick and not see something. But it's...
So y'all started that business, or was it just an idea?
No, we started. We got it in one restaurant here, I think.
That was kind of an entrepreneurial mistake because the guys, they...
Oh, there's a few of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but my point to that though is...
It was a mistake. Most of them are.
Yeah, well, and that's actually my point. So when we actually started, he's done everything from woodworking business to he was going to do photography to we've done everything. When we got to Sublime, and it was like, oh, this one actually might work. And he was reading an article or a book or something, and it said, was it Dave Ramsey? And he was saying something about most entrepreneurs have started 8 to 10 businesses before they come to one that is successful. And I thought, well, that's insane. Who would start 8 businesses?
Nobody starts that.
We started counting. And this is number 10.
This is number 10.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
And so,
there we go. Right on the nose.
So, all that to say, so now you can tell them how we started this one, but I just always because I don't know that.
So who came up with the idea to start Sublime?
Oh, it's totally his idea.
And when he brought it to you,
I had a real job.
Exactly. Yeah. You sound like my wife a little bit, actually. But were you open to the idea?
Yes. Well, I was. No, I was. It was scary, though.
How many clients are you going to start with? One.
Well, of course, I was on board because he was came to me, Mr. Spreadsheet, with, look at this.
Yeah.
And when I do this, I'm going to have this many clients by this and this many clients by 3 years. Of course, we had a brand new baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, and in 3 years, we're going to make X million dollars and you can be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, yes.
You're like, I'm down. Let's go.
do this.
Yeah.
And this was 2008. Or no, because the babies weren't babies, but they were little enough that I was like, yes, I can be a mama. Yeah.
What year did that
happen? And hasn't yet.
2017.
So I'm not a stay-at-home
She's
mom.
working in the business. Boo, I need you to come work.
So no, I was on board, but it was very scary. I mean, I tell people all the time, I say all that because it is a journey.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a scary journey at times, and there have been. I know I'm stepping on you telling the story, but we've been very proud of the fact that our employees have gotten a paycheck every single month that we've been in business.
Ever.
At least one paycheck.
The entire time. No, they got every. Now we went 3 years without a paycheck from Sublime.
Wow.
And so there was a lot of, and I had a good job, but there were times I had my calculator out on my phone at the grocery because I knew how much money was in our bank account.
Yeah.
And I would do the math and add the tax, and I'm like, I can't. Okay, gotta put that back. Doing that whole thing at the grocery because. You go through that journey. Yeah, and so it was definitely a journey, and so it was, it's
surreal.
like jumping off a cliff.
So Adam, no, I'm glad you told that story because it's
because there's a lot that goes into there's a lot that happens before you don't just wake up one morning and go, I'm going to start a business, and then it's fine.
Or you don't just end up with this successful company or that's making a lot of progress.
Yeah, we're how many years? 13-year overnight success.
Yeah. So Adam, tell us how you came up with the idea of starting Sublime and why you called it Sublime.
Okay. It's not after the band.
Because I was thinking.
I wish we had a dime for everybody that asked us that. We're like, no.
Name-wise, I wanted a name. I wanted an acronym for good.
Yeah.
Good Computer Services. Okay, let's find Sublime.
Well, Sublime, the actual definition of Sublime is a degree of excellence as such to instill awe. Okay. So it's not just good.
Yeah.
It's
really
things are sublime.
Wow.
I mean, it's they describe heaven in the Bible as Sublime.
Sublime. Oh,
you
man.
know, and it's like,
Woo.
yeah.
Okay.
So we don't just want to be good; we want to be Sublime.
I like that.
And then the logo. So I mean, our logo is unique. It's actually
Yeah.
a line.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
submarine.
you know what? I just realized it. I literally. Woo! Thank you. Okay. Man, this is good. Okay.
So my web developer, you know, he was doing my website and he was doing my logo, and he gave me like 6 really professional looking logos, and then he threw this one at the end and said, haha, see.
It was a joke.
He said, if you think you can pull this off, I said, that's it.
Yeah, our girls, they were like little, like 5, 6 years old, and they were like, "Oh, Daddy, we like that one." You know, I was like, "Hey, a 5-year-old likes it."
Yeah. So that's how we ended up with the logo. But as far as why do IT? Why be outsourced IT? It was the most logical thing. I mean, that's what I was an expert at. I mean, that's what I've done my whole life.
So you were an IT professional already?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, I got my first computer when I was 8.
Yeah.
And whatever career I was going to be, whether it was, you know, a CAD draftsman or environmental engineer, it was going to be heavily focused on computer use. And then I just realized that I just want to work on computers. They fascinate me. A computer, I set it up and make it do something. It'll keep doing that task over and over. I don't have to remind it. I don't have to. It doesn't get tired. It just keeps doing that. So that's kind of a fascinating reason why I got into computers, to get them to do things. And then I liked gaming. I was a big gamer back in the day. And it made if I was going to run a business, I was going to do what I was good at. And that's what I did. So, I mean, we tried to start it in 2000, and it just didn't happen. I couldn't figure it out at the time. I wasn't charging enough money. I didn't know how to do insurance. And that's when I rolled back into corporate world. But when I rolled back into corporate world, I had 6 years of preparing for Sublime. Because that whole time I was writing business plans, I was studying entrepreneurs.
When you went back to get a job at, in the corporate.
I went back to HCA, and then I worked with Avondale Partners, investment banking, in IT. But the whole time I was writing my business plan. How am I going to do? I was listening to Dave Ramsey. I was reading E-Myth. I was having the entrepreneurial seizure, just trying to figure out what that was going to be.
That's a great takeaway though, because sometimes we try to start things and we may not be ready, and then we go back and get a job, we go back in the corporate sector, but we're preparing all the way, for that next start. You know what I mean? So that's really cool. I tell you what, we're gonna take a quick break, commercial break, and we're gonna come right back and finish the story.
All right, y'all, listen, I got to tell you about one of our sponsors, Wow Cable for Business. All right, so if you are in an area, a footprint or market where Wow Cable is available, you got to reach out to My Tech Partners. You got to reach out to us to actually get a quote. All right, you don't have to. I'm just saying, you should reach out to My Tech to get a quote and shop those cable options. Why? Because we're going to get you options in seconds. We're going to enable you to shop, order the service that you need for your business, and get support in a timely fashion. So if you're looking for Wow Cable options, that's for your business, reach out to us at mytechpartners.com. All right, now back to this episode.
All right, so let's pick up where you left off. So you were back in the corporate sector. You took 6 or so years writing your business plan, reading emails, listening to Dave Ramsey, and then so at what point did you have a trigger to say, hey, okay, I'm ready. Let's start this thing?
Well, my trigger was I had a really plush gig. I wasn't getting paid bad, but what I was able to do was I was able to take as much time off as what I wanted to for mission trips. Because I would go on a mission trip in the summertime, and then we'd take family vacations, just reasonable, like 3 or 4 weeks out of a year, which is a lot by American standards. But I wanted the time off. Well, they started cracking down. They said, you get 2 weeks, and that's all you get. Like, well, I go to Mexico for 12 days every summer. That means I get like 4 days off, and that's all I get. And that was the trigger. I was like, we want to do this.
Gotcha.
We want to be able to do the mission trip. We want to be able to do family life. and this is a means to that end. I mean, I didn't have any illusions that I was going to work less. You know, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to set my own hours.
Yeah.
Well, I've still got to get all the work done. I'll be able to set my hours, but I got to get the work done. So, but then I was able to have the freedom to go on the mission trips that I wanted to do, as well as spend time with family. I got to go to all the important games, you know, that my kids are in, events, and where when I was working for somebody else, I'd have to pick and choose.
Yeah. So you were in control you wanted to be in control of your time. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
But did you just jump out there, or had you been? I know you were doing your business plan. Were you saying, "Hey, I'm gonna, save more money or have a cushion here and maybe get a couple of customers on the side before I go full time"? How did you do that?
So I did do that. I mean, I had some customers on the side. I mean, my first full-time customer was a part-time customer that I converted into the first Sublime client. So I did ease into it. Of course, you know now, 2020, hindsight's 2020. What I should have done that I didn't do, I should have went to work for an IT company to see how they ran the business before I started running an IT company. Because I was a technician. I knew how to do the work, but I didn't know how to run the business. I had to learn how to do that on the fly. And even if I didn't learn, like if I didn't do every role in the IT company, I could have at least seen how they did it.
Absolutely.
And then reverse engineered it.
Well, that's really good, because so you said you were reading E-Myth, and I know E-Myth talks about being a technician, being a manager, or being an entrepreneur, and a lot of people, we have the skill set, right? We know how to do the work, whether it's being an IT guy or being a plumber or a dentist, but do we know how to build a business around that? So that's kind of cool that you said that. So how'd you guys learn how to build a business then?
Trial and error.
That's where the 13 years comes in.
Yes.
Well, and I'm a reader. I mean, I like to read. I like to listen to Audible. So I'm a constant learner. And so I just went to school. I mean, every way I could find out how to do business, I learned how to do business.
And we run the business just about every way. I mean, trying something that doesn't really work. Try this and that doesn't really work. And even now we've shifted with because it's a whole different ballgame when it's just him and one tech. Versus now we have a staff of 11.
How many
we have
staff
10.
Of 11? Okay.
Possibly we're hoping to add one more. It's really different.
Oh no, it's
managing people and getting all the different roles defined and things like that. So it's been definite trial and error, because he went to school. He didn't go to business school. I didn't go to business school, and so it's it's
he went to business school on his own. On Audible. So at what point did you come into the business or start working in the business?
So I came on.
And what were you doing beforehand?
So I'm a nurse by education. I'm an oncology nurse. Go nurses. I'm still a nurse. I'm going to I work too hard for that. And
you can always go back to
and that's the thing. You never know
if something happens.
If something happens to him, I'm not running.
You can run Sublime. I'm sure you can.
I'll be looking for someone to buy it.
You got 10 people to help you.
I was going to ask you if you want to buy it.
Do you want to buy it? Bill will be my first call.
Right.
I'm not even going to say it, but no. So I still have my nursing license, and I love that. But so probably 2014, 2015, we joined an advertising marketing type group that is specific for IT. For MSPs, really, because this was actually based in Franklin. She realized there's all these computer guys running businesses.
Is that Robin Robbins?
It is Robin Robbins, yes. They don't know what the heck they're doing. Perhaps I should. So she has created her niche, solely doing marketing and it's really plug and play. You can pick what works for you, what doesn't. You can customize it. You just insert company name here, signature. It's really user
in terms
friendly.
Of the marketing.
The marketing, yes. So it's very user friendly. So he joined that 2014, 15, and it was great. He was marketing. He was doing these things. He'd get a client. Well, then he had to take that hat off, put the tech hat on, and do the tech work.
Yeah.
Well, then we needed a new client, so he had to go back over here. You know, it's the same story for every entrepreneur, right?
Okay,
So you're
okay.
putting on the different hats, and he kept saying, you know,
And that's when it was just you, Adam? Okay.
Well, him and a couple of technicians.
By the
and
time I found Robin Robbins, I think I had 2 techs working with me.
Okay.
2 techs and a dispatcher.
Gotcha.
And so he kept saying, well, we've always said, wouldn't it be, you know, it started out, oh, you're going to be able to be stay-at-home mom. And then it became, oh, maybe you can come work with me. And I was like, I don't know anything. I am not a computer person. Like, one of the benefits, I loved nursing. I'm very science-minded, but one of the extra benefits about graduating in the 1990s in nursing, no computers.
Wow.
There was one computer on the floor, and all it had was like the floor plan and which rooms were full. Like, that was it. And so it's kind of a little added benefit. I didn't have to do anything with computers.
Yeah.
And so that's what I kept telling him, what can I do? I can't do anything with you. And so when he got this marketing thing, he was like, you could do this. And because
you love to talk.
I do. And I was like, because he actually really does not enjoy any kind of networking, anything. Like, he doesn't glad hand well. He doesn't like,
Yeah.
I mean, he just
I
doesn't.
like people.
He
I like
likes
to talk.
Yeah.
But
He's not Scrooge.
I just like to walk up and, hey, Bill, I'm Adam. Tell me chitter chatter about yourself that I don't care about, and I'm gonna walk away and find somebody else to chitter chatter with.
He does not chitter chatter well, and so,
collect a bunch
whereas
of business cards.
I can talk to this wall for 3 minutes and be fine.
I want a human connection. I want.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna talk to you at a networking event, you and I are talking for 45 minutes.
Yeah, he doesn't work the ring, and so anyway, I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. And so
I've run into people like you, Adam.
yeah,
I mean,
he's
Why are you
that
still
guy
talking
over
to
in the
me?
corner.
I don't corner them. I mean, I can sense if they're, you know, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But he's not,
funny.
he does, well, and plus, you know, networking takes time. And you can't just go once.
Right, you gotta
and then
build that
expect, you have to
relationship.
keep, you know, you have to be
The trust.
consistent. And so he couldn't do that while he's trying
Right.
to do technical work.
Yeah, yeah, no.
And so that's where it became, and so we really had to wait though. We really try to steward our finances well and make smart decisions on that. And so really the conversation started 2015-16. I actually didn't come on board until the end of 2017.
Okay.
August.
So
of
you left
2017.
nursing.
So I left nursing in the end of 2017, and I thought, this is gonna be great. We're gonna go and we're gonna market to all these doctors and dentists. I speak their language.
Yep.
This is awesome. I know exactly what they need. I'm gonna walk in, tell them about Sublime, they're gonna sign up. Not what happened. And so as we're 6 and 7 and 8 months in, and I had, of course, like anybody, when you start a new job, you're like, I'm going to do all the things. Like, you know, I can do all these things. And I had like 14 plates spinning and just, you know, we weren't signing clients. And I was really getting very discouraged. And I kept coming to him going, we've made a mistake. Like, I am not good at this. This is, you know, this is not good. Nursing school did not prepare me for the business world.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a whole different, not in a bad way, just I was not prepped for the follow-ups and the, you know, just some of those things that I just didn't have to do.
I refused her resignation on
Yeah.
She tried to quit.
I quit several times.
I'm going to go back to nursing. No, you're not.
Yeah. I think he fired me a few times. So yeah.
You had to rehire.
And it's
bring her back.
But there was actually one. So
How does that work?
Yeah, he just like, it's like, okay, fine, you know. And then there was one day, I don't remember exactly what had happened, but I had come to a point where I was like, we have really made a mistake. Like, I have not brought anything new to the, I was not bringing anything new to the table. And it was like, if we're going to have somebody in my position, I'm not the person. And I really was serious about that. And it was one of we're funny, like, we don't explode at each other or yell at each other when we fight. Like, our fights last for days because we're both processors. And so, like, we'll say something and then it's like he's got to think about it. And then he'll come back and say something and then I'll think about it. And so, which is good in that we don't say things maybe that we regret.
Yeah,
but
there's no rashness. It just runs long.
Yeah, it runs long.
just drawn out.
But with that, though, what I appreciate, so I had said that to him. I was like, I was really serious. I was, and my job was actually trying to get me to come back. And I was like, I need to go back here where it's comfortable. You know, and that was part of it. Was I had been a speaker. I had traveled actually the Southeast for a drug company as a nurse educator.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And I was the subject matter expert in the room, and I could walk into that room and I knew what I was doing, and I was, I had done nursing for 20 years. I was an expert, and here I am all of a sudden, I don't know anything.
Right.
And so I think some of it was internal,
Sure. Yeah.
but business-wise, I was like, I am not the right person. And so he waited till the next morning, and he did come back, and he was like, you can go, if you really feel like you need to go back to nursing, fine. I'll support that, but I really need you, because all of a sudden there was someone else and I mean, not to sound cheesy or whatever, but this was the truth, like to share the burden of running a business.
Absolutely. Even
Even though I was kind of involved the whole time.
So it wasn't just about marketing.
It was right. It was
It
about
was-
being able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and
now you kind of
vent.
more understood the workings of the business.
And so what we
stuff.
did from that, and so I was like, okay, well, I can't go back now. I can't go back to the hospital now. He needs me. And so, but what we actually did, we actually pulled the plug on everything. I stopped marketing, stopped doing anything.
Really?
And I went and took a class.
A class.
A business type through Robin Robbins,
Okay,
but it was
okay.
actually went and kind of started from square one, and I had to. Part of what it was, when you're in medicine, when you're working, not just in medicine, but that was all I knew. I walked into my office every day, my clinic every day. I had this list of patients and this list of things I needed to do, and I couldn't go home till they were done, and then I went home.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I had my list of patients, and I had my list of things to do, and suddenly, I'm like my own boss.
Yeah.
And that was actually really hard. Working from home is hard.
Yeah.
I know now it's kind of everybody's doing it, but it was being disciplined and learning how to, be, schedule things. And I had to think backwards, because I'm like, okay, I got to print a newsletter and then I have to mail it out. And it's like, I had to think things backwards. So I went and took a class, and then we started like one thing.
Yeah.
And then one thing, and then one thing. And so that actually, so I would say all of second half of 2018 up to 2019, I really got my feet under me finally. So I'd worked.
So when did you bring in the client though?
So, not until after that. Like, it really was. It was. But you know what? I'm going to tell you. So we did do that. Of course, at this time too, we're kind of looking at things. I don't remember exactly when we started the entrepreneurial operating system. We started doing EOS.
Yeah.
But it was kind of in that same window of time. That was a game changer for Sublime in general, because it gave us our roles.
Yeah.
It gave us who we were looking for, where they needed to be, what we expected of them.
We had the core values to weigh everything.
I used to poo-poo core values, like we always had them at the hospital, and they were like, "What's the core values?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm just keeping my patient alive. Just leave me alone. Now I get it. That's a huge piece. And I mean, everybody in our office, we hire against those core values.
So just so people know what you're talking about, Traction is a book by Gino Wickman, I believe is his name. And then he has EOS, which is the Entrepreneur Operating System. So this is a structure or a way to run your business, really. And it's pretty efficient. We're a Traction focused driven company as well. My tech is,
and it's getting what does your business, what's your main focus, what are your main goals, what are your core values, and then making sure, I know a big thing is making sure you've got the right people in the right seat, because you can have a great employee but they're not doing a good job, but maybe they just need a different job within the company. And so it really has really helped us, and it's been so exciting to us now as we've grown and we're hiring people, and we let our guys, by the time somebody gets to this point in the interview process with us, they get to come into the office, and then each one of our techs gets 10 minutes or so with them individually to ask questions of them, have them ask questions without, the big boss man in the room kind of thing. And it's been really cool that we've had some people that have got the technical skills, they've had the education, whatever, and then our team comes together and they're like, they're just not Sublime. Like, they wouldn't represent us well. It hasn't happened often, but boy, I teared up the first time that happened, because it was like, oh my gosh,
it works.
It works. And I was like, we've got a great team. I mean, we really do. And we've that's where it's been fun as a, you know, I mean, it's not all, you know, rainbows and puppies when we're at work, but it's like, we've built that together.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just really cool.
Yeah. And we're gonna wrap up here in a few minutes, but I gotta ask you guys a question. So being married and working together, is that easy or is it hard? Or what would you say?
Which day?
Because I'm just thinking about building a business with my wife. Would that?
Well, and we're both very type A, very focused, and so we enjoy construction, and we have flipped the houses we've been in, and we've learned over doing that. We need to work side by side, not together.
Okay.
And
Which means what?
Well,
what does that mean?
so that, like, we don't work on the same thing. Like, we need to work side by side, and if I need help, I'll ask him, but don't come over and do what I'm doing.
Got you.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was how this was going to work. But again, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And so for me, it was hard at the beginning because he knows more than me in this.
Yeah.
And he'd come over and go, well, let me tell you, and I would get my feelings hurt, and I'd cry, and I'd get mad, and I'd do, you know, and I was like, okay, I'm being a baby, you know. I mean, it was really tough for me at the beginning because I had to kind of put my pride aside, and realize he does know more than me in this, and so I needed to listen to that. And so once we kind of worked through that, for me, it's been easy, but the first year was hard.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean,
I'll let you answer, but it was hard for me.
Well, I mean, the first year was hard. I mean, because like one of us had to swallow our pride.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it had to be her. Because, well, I mean,
it did.
If we were in a business where she was the medical expert, obviously I would fall under her authority because I'm not the medical expert. So in this case, IT company, IT expert. So, but the first year, once we figured that out, but there are still times like now when we disagree that we just kind of have to hammer through it a little bit. But it's different.
Well, and ultimately,
it's different now because the business is at a certain place, or you just got more resources, or you can, I don't know what, you can be more flexible, or.
Well, and she's not uninformed now.
I know more, and so I can.
I can't just say, I know this, you don't.
Okay,
you know,
got you.
It is, you know, it's a real debate. And, you know, like I said, we're not heated about it.
Well, no, I do think, there are times. I think I do know more now, and I know more about the business now. And I have to also remind myself, I mean, ultimately, he is the boss. And so there have been times where I'm like, all right, I don't agree with you, but it's not my name on the company. I mean,
I understand.
Me, you know, and so it's.
Well, and that's a hard, I mean, because not just anybody can do that.
Right.
It's harder to do that than it is to say, I'm the boss, we're doing it my way.
Right.
No, you're the boss and we're going to do it your way, and I'm going to be okay with that.
Especially a type A personality. I mean, you know, that is tough. So where do you guys see the business going in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what, have you discussed that? Or?
It's funny, we actually, so we have, you know, with Traction, you said a 1 year, 3 year, 10-year goal. We, at the end of this year, will be past our 3-year goal at the 2-year mark.
Nice.
And so, and as we've hired now 5 people, potentially 6 since February. And we talked about it actually on vacation this summer of this has far exceeded what we expected already. You know, we thought we'd be here in 10 years. Well, in 10 years, we're 55, 56 thinking about our exit strategy. Well, we're here now. How big do we want to get? Like, we really, like, if we grew this much every year, like, we'd be at 40 employees in no time. And I'm like, I don't know if we want to be that. So we're really actually having that discussion, and really, you know, another thing too, I mean, again, not to sound off, but we really tried to give this over to God of like, it's your company. If we sell it tomorrow, okay, but I'm kind of excited to see how big he can get it. You know? And there was actually a point this summer where I just started laughing because we had like all these things coming in, all these leads and stuff, and I was like, he's like, I can't, how do we, I can't even get to these appointments. How do I do it? And I just started laughing. I was like, I have no idea, but it's, you know, it was a good place to be. And so I think we're kind of we don't know. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and so I don't have a number, but I do have what my goals are for the company. I want my employees to have a good quality of life. I want them to have a good job. I want them to have a good pay. I want them to have a good family life. I want them to be challenged at work, and I want them to be constantly learning and improving. And when we get to that point where that's happening on a more regular basis, then that's the equilibrium. That's where I want the company to be. I don't want my people overstressed, overworked. You know, they've got health problems, they've got family problems because they're not spending. That's what I want. Is I want a healthy company lifestyle for everybody. And if we can achieve that equilibrium at 20, I'll stay right there. I mean, because it's not about, how much money we can make. It's about how good of a life can we make.
Yeah, and that impact you're having on other lives and other families, you know. So that's cool. I love that. I also love that you said you gave this company over to God, you know. And, I know you guys are believers and you do missionary work and things like that. And it seems like it's a ministry. You know, your business, your company seems like a ministry.
I kind of struggled with that coming out of nursing because I always looked at nursing as a ministry, you know. And when the pandemic hit, when everything shut down last spring, I did come to him and I was like, I feel like maybe I need to go back to the hospital because I felt like I wasn't doing anything. Like I was like seeing all these people and even now, I look at my friends in healthcare and they're tired and they're overworked and they're exhausted and they're scared and they're, and I'm just like, I feel like, and so I actually went to him and I was like, I kind of feel like maybe I need to, we need to think about me possibly going back. And that's what I said was something along the lines of, I don't feel like I'm helping. And he said, we are helping. He's like, we've got employees that have jobs that are paying their bills and staying, so many people were losing their jobs and our guys have kept their jobs. And March 2020, technology was everybody's lifeline.
Absolutely.
And so for us to be able to, y'all too, to be able to get people set up with some way to still be talking to their family in, California or whatever, where they couldn't see them. Those kind of things were, it was helpful, and then like I said, I get to go and, I get the fun job of like delivering, client gifts and things like that and the onboarding gifts and things. And, it's so fun to go, it's like, we're so happy to see, like we do bring some joy, or we somebody calls in so frantic because their server's down and we can't do our job, and they fix it. And it is a job. It is a ministry, if you will.
Absolutely.
Or not necessarily a ministry, but you are touching people. And I think
I think that makes it a ministry, you know, because you're using your gift and your energy to help people, live a fulfilled life, right, or accomplish their goals. So that's really key. So how can people get in touch with you guys? What's the website?
It's www.
Marketing person.
It's sublimecomp.com.
Okay.
You can call us 615-942-0850 and get Robin, who is our wonderful dispatcher, and she will get you hooked up with us.
All right, cool. There it is, y'all. Sublime Computer Services. All right, Adam and Elizabeth Bell, I appreciate you guys for coming in and chatting about your business.
Thank you.
And I know, actually, I always try to have, structure the conversation where there's some practical takeaways, and I think we got some cool takeaways from you guys as it relates to IT, but also as it relates to business and being entrepreneurs, and maybe even a married couple as well. Got some marriage advice too. So before we close out, what is happening over here? Before we close out, we have some giveaways. We got some behind the camera commotion. So we got some giveaways for you guys, and we definitely want to thank you for coming in by giving you a couple of t-shirts. Yeah, so we have a Tech Don't Sleep t-shirt. So if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, then you guys you can see that, and you can get one too. Just reach out to us.
So you can't get one of these unless you're on it.
That's right. Well, maybe. I don't know. But there you go. I
I think I got yours out on the side.
I think
the size is a
that's
little
the
bigger.
bigger one.
Yeah, it's okay. All right. But y'all been married 24 years, so y'all can figure that out.
Yeah, well, yeah. What's his is mine.
There you go. I also want to make sure that you guys follow this podcast. So if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. All right. Share this video, share the podcast. You can download it on Apple as well and Spotify. And I gotta give a shout out to our sponsors. So, especially those sponsors that actually sponsored our event, which was August 27th. Friday, August 27th.
I was there. It was awesome.
Oh man, this is amazing. I'm glad you caught that. So one of our main sponsors is Your Six, which is a cloud surveillance company. Obviously, Comcast Business. We got WOW Cable. We've got ICS. We got 8x8, and we got Big Leaf Networks. I can't believe I remember all those sponsors. So appreciate you guys for sponsoring the podcast for this quarter and that event. And if you need assistance with some of those services, reach out to MyTech at mytechpartners.com, and we'll be glad to connect you and get you some options for your business. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you
for joining us. If you need outsourced IT, reach out to sublimecomp.com. I'll holler at y'all next time.
All right.
Peace.